And does he ever get the penis? Greetings, movie fans. You're all very welcome to the Big Reviewski with Omniplex Cinemas and my OmniPass. My name is Owen Doherty, and on this week's show, I've got some bad boys, and a bad girl.
I was going with the original lyrics. You see.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, it's on the Big Reviewski. That's it. Well, Justine, Paul, Rory.
Thanks.
I was all ready for I had 4 verses written out.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
I didn't.
No, it's just the one you can just read over and over again, surely.
Repeatedly, yeah. Anyway, you're all very welcome to the show. How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, good.
How are you?
I got a bit of a sore throat.
Tickly throat, yeah. Just one doing my
Apologies
Yeah.
for any any coughing. I did request drugs a couple of weeks back. No drugs came.
Do you have the Zoolander black lung?
I got the black lung pop. So if I do collapse at any point,
Just continue
Carry on.
you.
Yeah.
please resuscitate.
That's what he would have wanted. Carry
No,
on.
I don't want to die.
If you collapse, just do it here so we can rest our feet.
Yeah, okay, no bother.
Yeah.
That'd be grand.
And the cards are in order, so somebody just pick up the slack.
No
okay. If you'd like to get in touch with the Big Reviewski, it's just the usual ways. It's always the same. You can tweet us. People do tweet us.
They do.
they
At Big Reviewski.
Plus call in. We're here waiting for your call.
The phone lines are ready.
The lines are open. We're waiting to take
different show, lads.
your call.
No, not
You can
doing
donate
that.
to the Big Reviewski on 0800.
Not
Give us your
manning
money.
24-hour phones.
Yeah.
Like,
Reviewski
no.
chat.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear the other
phone.
end of that conversation. No.
And there's the Instagram stuff as well, and other social media and all that kind of stuff. Anything? Are we on any other ones? No.
Tinder.
Tinder,
What
yeah.
are you motioning at there?
I
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Tinder?
I had
I don't even know how to
my
spell
body
Tinder.
cracked in two because I had 2 jokes to make, and I was like,
I don't know which one to go for.
so Tinder.
Yeah. We might super like you.
You never know.
You can subscribe
Yes.
and leave your nice comments and your horrible comments as well. Don't leave the horrible comments. As ever, we've got the big question on the Big Reviewski, and I know me and Justine performed an awful duet of Bad Boys there at the start of the show.
And last week.
That was
And last week
good.
as well, and every week in the future. So you can look forward to that. But,
Yes.
Rory, the movie hadn't been screened the time we were recording the show last week.
Yep.
So you went off, you saw it and came back. So we only saw it after the fact, your review. And you absolutely, you really liked the film.
It's good. It was surprisingly good, yeah.
This is what everybody's saying
Incredible.
now.
Yeah.
I knew it when I picked it as the big trailer. I knew.
had a feeling
this.
about
I
it.
had-
Called it.
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner
Boom.
across the board.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
I hear they're frantically changing the rules for 2020 just to
This
get
is
it.
shoehorned it in.
Early
Yeah.
days, yeah.
Best Martin
Brilliant.
Lawrence in
Ah,
the
but they're dead,
category.
right?
Yeah.
They're dead.
Best
right.
Martin Lawrence in a Martin Lawrence film.
Yeah.
I think
He probably doesn't even qualify
He'll
for it.
still lose.
And the nominees are Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, sorted.
Fourth one on the way. Already.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. So that's great
Wow.
news. The fact that it is a
Good,
pleasant
and it's made
surprise.
a lot of money.
And Martin Lawrence has another job.
Yeah,
Bloody
You don't know
Sorted.
that's Martin Lawrence in that film yet. It could be anyone.
It just so far, all we're willing to say is that it's someone who looks like maybe is Martin Lawrence.
Possibly,
Okay,
possibly.
a relative.
So tying it in and giving a bit of love to Bad Boys then as well. I thought while it's out in cinemas, why don't we choose our favourite Martin Lawrence movie? And then I realised.
How can you narrow that down?
it's
You
like-
can't
That'd be
pick
a
Quick
one.
conversation.
Yeah. So instead, I changed my mind and went for favourite Will Smith movie. And obviously, he's a box office star, but hasn't been on the world's greatest run. The last kind of 10 years or so, would you say, roughly?
It's supposed to make money.
Yeah, that still makes money. Aladdin made a lot of money.
Suicide Squad made money, but was
But completely derided.
I only realised, looking back, have you all seen Aladdin, the new one?
yeah.
It's
I don't like horror.
movie review show, guys. It's basically Hitch 2.
What?
What?
Oh yeah. He's basically the guy who grants all the wishes in Hitch, and
And,
I'm
like,
gonna
it's
make
trying
a
to
romantic dreams come true.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the dude into someone that a woman would find attractive.
Oh my god.
So maybe they could do a crossover and they could do Lilo and Hitch.
That's good.
You.
That is good.
Damn.
Come on.
I am here for that.
I want to accept it.
I'm
What?
available
That's
for
good. Why not?
voiceovers.
That's a good one.
It's a different movie. It's Lilo and Stitch. Come on.
But it's
better than
Disney.
Lilo and Stitch.
It's Disney and it's Will Smith. It's good.
Anyway,
I am so proud of that impression. I won't. That's
so I went for it. I was torn between two 90s movies, basically. But I only went for one. And the one that I've gone for is 1997 Men in Black. This is because Will Smith was doing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from around 90 to 96. So this was one of his first kind of big movies as well. And made him a huge star. Obviously himself and Tommy Lee Jones, members of a secret government organisation who protect and kind of monitor all the aliens who are hiding on Earth. And when I saw this movie, there's so much love about it. It's so brilliantly written. It's such a smart sci-fi. Steven Spielberg's producing it as well. You got Barry Sonnenfeld as the director, but Ed Solomon is the writer. And you've got Danny Elfman doing the music. You got Rick Baker, who won an Oscar for the special or for the makeup. The effects are brilliant as well. So you got this collection of just brilliant people, and
Vincent D'Onofrio.
And Vincent D'Onofrio as Edgar,
and Linda Fiorentino's great. It's
Vincent D'Onofrio. Like lifetime achievement award for this movie.
But that performance as Edgar is that's actually one of my. I do very few impressions, but I can actually do an impression of Edgar the Bugman.
But you just did one of Justine, so let's see.
Well, that's one of them. I've got 3.
Oh, what's the third one?
I've got 4. I've got 4.
Got a lot of trouble for the Martin Lawrence.
But this one is sugar.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
It's okay,
more.
Can
And
I
then
just
he
say
goes,
we gave
I'm not
me a lot
finished the
of...
impression.
Okay.
And then he goes. Then the bit when he holds the face back, and he holds the face back, the skin. He goes, better, and then that's it. So that's the.
What was that, Justine? You gave him what?
You know, like I got a stick for my one voice. We have a whole soundboard going on there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I should
Pretty
really,
talented.
I need to build up my.
Although I thought the one descended into Paisley a bit there as well. Give us another one.
No, that was.
Oh, sorry.
Liam Neeson going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that. Will Smith. He's brilliant in it, Will Smith, and I love the whole bit when he's trialing out to become an agent, and they show him like the scenario, and they're like, "What's wrong with that?" And the guy's like, "Well, they're monsters and they're whatever." He's like, "Your man's just working out, and that guy's got books. He's just studying. I'd be more worried about the little girl who's wandering around. Don't trust her. All that kind of stuff. It's just really smart, turning everything on its head." So, and then there was this moment which myself and my brother used to say to each other basically whenever we wore clothes, which was most days.
Good.
Yeah, it was. Well, take a look first, and then I'll do.
Is this stuff you and your brother?
Is this footage
of me and my
you and your
brother
brother?
on a no clothes day. Take a look.
Know what the difference is between you and me? I make this look good.
So yeah, good quote.
Yeah.
Good film.
Great. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It's very Tim Burton-y.
Yes, I suppose, and then having Danny Elfman in
I
there
always
gives
love
it
the
that
little
kind of
aliens
feel
that
as well.
smoke. The little ones that
Yeah,
go
the
around.
little worm aliens. But no, super. Number 2, number 3, international, not so
Number
great.
4, we forgot
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. But no, so Men in Black for me. Justine, what did you go for?
Yeah, it's just when you mention Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like that's how everyone really got introduced to Will, and you kind of know him as a more light-hearted. Even Men in Black is kind of him being cool, and then the film that I went for is him in a different kind of a light, and it was when I kind of was like, whoa, this role he played so well in The Pursuit of Happiness is what I went for. So Chris Gardner's character he plays, and it's just the final scene even of it's like based on a true story as well, but I just saw he was so serious and well played this character that it was a different side to Will that I'd seen previously, because this is 2007. I went to look back. He was nominated for an Oscar for it, but didn't win. It was Forrest Whitaker won that year. But I really thought he gave such a strong performance in this film, and the scene that I picked is from the end of the movie where it kind of comes full circle, and spoiler alert for anyone, but you should have already seen this film.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you've had
Spoiler
13
alert.
years,
Yeah.
so this is on you.
Yeah, 13 years, where he gets given the job, and it's the guy that he gave his last $5 bill to, hands it back to him then, and it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful.
And does he ever get the penis in the end? This is The Pursuit of Happiness. The whole thing.
That film's really nice. You've ruined it.
His son is in that film. Jaden Smith is in it with him.
Let's take a look. It's your choice, Pat.
What do you want today?
Again, it better not be your penis.
You know, being the last day and all.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. But, wear one tomorrow, though, okay? Because tomorrow's going to be your first day. If you'd like to work here as a broker. Would you like that, Chris?
Yes, sir.
Good. We couldn't be happier. So, welcome. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, sir. No, sir, it wasn't.
Good luck, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sir.
Oh, Chris. I almost forgot.
Thank you.
What a beautiful moment.
It's just to see him.
What, your joke or him getting the job?
That moment there.
Oh, right,
with
sorry,
Will
yeah.
Smith.
Okay.
Just to see, like the emotion in that final scene where he's crying over, like it's. I think he plays that so well at the end.
He will
really.
win an Oscar, I'm sure of it.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
But just not today.
What else you nominated for? What? Was it Ali? Was the other one?
Ali, I
Two
presume,
nominees?
yeah.
£7? No, when was £7?
£7, I think, was after that. Was that the one with Rosario Dawson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he will. I've got
Maybe
faith.
one of those films
Bad Boys 4.
is your choice for your favourite Will Smith movie. Paul, what did you go for?
I went for a role which I think kind of encapsulates everything that Will Smith does really well. And I think actually still stands up as his best, which is Enemy of the State. I think it's a brilliant, brilliant film that you don't see an awful lot of nowadays. That smart thriller with an edge of, with kind of the political vibe. Tony Scott, much missed director. What a great CV, like Top Gun, Man on Fire, Crimson Tide. But this is kind of more like those films you saw like Coppola did, like The Conversation, or the Hitchcockian ones of the wrong man against the system, or 3 Days of the Condor. Basically, he's just out shopping trying to buy his wife lingerie, and he gets a videotape incriminating his character of an NSA murder gone wrong, and basically he's set up for the crime and he's on the run from the system. And it was really smart in that. This is before the smartphone age when you can be tracked with GPS and stuff like that, but it's so clever, like just the detail they go through. And also the cast in this, I'm looking, you've got Gene Hackman,
Who's brilliant in it as well.
John Voight,
Yeah.
Regina King is his wife in this before Beale Street and Watchmen, yeah. Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
And
There's always an Irish guy in one of these.
And Jake Busey, who we all love. Jake Busey. But in this, like, he's funny, he's charming, he does a bit of action on the run, he kind of believable as the every guy. I just think this is the quintessential Will Smith film, kind of why he still is one of the most bankable actors in the world, because he can do literally everything in this. And if you haven't seen Enemy of the State, check it out, because it still holds up really, really well.
So what's this scene then we've got?
This is him when he finds out Gene Hackman on the roof, because I didn't do anything, and he just realises the amount of crap he's in.
Yeah, we don't even need to look at it now because you just nailed it.
Wow.
You just nailed it. But you know what?
For the sake of...
We let the
We have it here. We might
Like,
as
it's
well.
been edited, so
yes, we might as
the
well
work's
take a
been
look at
done.
it. Here it is.
But here's a less good version of that.
The National Security Agency conducts worldwide surveillance, fax, phones, satellite communication. The only ones in the country, including the military, could possibly have anything like this.
Why are they after me?
I don't know, and I don't want to know. Here they come. I thought these sat dishes would scramble their signal.
Control, this is Air 1. Repeat coordinates.
105 Chambers Avenue.
You're transmitting. They still have a signal on you. Your collar, your belt, your zipper. Get rid of your clothes, all of them.
And then what am I supposed to do?
Nothing. You live another day, I'll be very impressed.
2 targets, rooftop, north side.
Understood, 2 targets, rooftop. Maintain visual, please.
You have something they want.
But I don't have anything!
Maybe you do and you don't know it. You stay away from Rachel and you stay away from me. You come near either one of us, I'm gonna kill you. Get rid of your watch.
My wife gave me this for our anniversary.
Then keep it. Stay off the phone.
Love Enemy of the State. Still remember going to see that in the cinema years ago. And it was so good.
98, I think, yeah.
See, he was on such a run
And the
back
government
then.
have not hacked anyone's phone since.
No, this
never.
film put an end to that.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Thank God. Roy, what did you go for?
I Am Legend.
Okay.
Okay, but what film did you go?
set it up and knocked it out.
Yeah, that was a okay.
Do you know what? I've heard enough out of you. We're going to keep going with the show. No, I am legend.
Yeah, the post-apocalyptic movie that it's 28 days with a bigger budget and more charismatic lead. I'm sorry, I know you love Gillian.
But you mean you're talking about the dog as the lead? The dog's really charismatic.
He is too. She actually, she is
I had a
too.
problem with this, which I'll talk after you talk about
I
it.
have I don't think it's a perfect movie by any means, but I think it is the one I've rewatched the most. It's just a really impressive action sci-fi thriller with some very memorable set pieces, and one in particular with the dog that is still for a movie that is it's on your website.
It is on the website.
Sorry to clarify.
Oh yeah. Just a quick clarification.
Which website we're talking about?
Doesthedogdie.com. Great if you want to find out.
Just
If
to
you're
check.
watching a movie, just to make sure.
It's directed by Francis Lawrence, who went on to do all the Hunger Games.
Did Constantine as well, which
He
is
did,
great.
which was actually fantastic as well. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic, and I think it still holds the record for the single most expensive scene in a movie of all time.
What?
The evacuation of Manhattan when he's trying to get everyone onto a helicopter at, is it a Brooklyn Bridge? And it all goes to hell.
Right.
I still think, last time I checked, which was right before we started recording, it was.
So unless another brand new movie has just filmed a more expensive scene.
You never know.
This is the one.
I think it's still the single most expensive scene, and it's just the scope of it and the scale of it. The vampire zombie things aren't done great.
It's the final third down, really, I think.
But aside from that, I still think it's a very, 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 very entertaining movie.
Yeah, let's take a look.
It's a still.
It's a picture.
It's
Everybody turn and look at the picture.
Do you know who do you know who was originally supposed to be in this?
Arnie.
Well, there's Arnie with Ridley Scott directing.
Yeah.
It was one of those that was like around for ages. I love Matheson's book of this, and that's why I had my vision of it when I read it.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the great horror books. There's parts of this I really loved, and Will Smith is great, and the dog is just will break your heart. But I think I just prefer one of those cases, and I just preferred the book.
I thought you were going to
I
say
didn't
you.
shit all over your chest. I don't see why.
I thought you were going to say you were annoyed because of preempted Batman v Superman.
That's true as well.
Yeah, and gave people the idea. It's in the.
It's
in the cinema on the background as well. But cracking choice.
Because that was being made.
Oh, was it?
That was Wolfgang Peterson was making it.
Right.
And who wouldn't like to take like a Ferrari and drive through empty streets?
I know that is a brilliant scene. So we got I Am Legend, Pursuit of a Penis, Enemy of the State, and Men in Black.
Did you say suit of a penis?
Pursuit.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to
I don't say
that
words
suit.
funny.
No.
Pursuit.
Yep.
4 brilliant movies. And then obviously Bad Boys for Life. Added to the list as well.
Future Oscar winner, Bad Boys for Life.
Definitely.
We said it here in the show.
No, you did, like...
You did.
You really said it repeatedly, yeah. If you want to let us know your favourite Will Smith movies, please do get in touch. If you don't want to let us know, hey, that's fine as well. Do whatever you want.
We would like you to let us know.
Yeah.
Please do let
Call
us
in.
know.
Do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line
Not
is
to me,
still
though.
open.
I am
The
not
lines
picking
are
up
up.
that call. Watch me here.
I would love a shot. You know those like red phones that
Yeah, the whole
flash
lot.
up.
Yeah.
Need one.
C-list celebrities sitting out the back. They're waiting to take your call. Oh God,
Martin Lawrence.
Something else. Martin Lawrence. We got him for the day.
Future Oscar winner, Martin Lawrence.
Now it's time for the big trailer on the Big Reviewski. And for this week's big trailer, Paul Moore.
We didn't talk about this last week, but I think I cannot let this trailer
I'm
pass
excited.
without us talking about
Yeah.
it. This is the latest entry in the Spider-Man universe, I guess, which we had Venom before. This is Jared Leto reimagining, going back to the comic book world in Morbius.
This is hilarious.
This is something.
It's quite a thing.
Yeah. So, as we said, Morbius is one of the well-known villains in the Spider-Man comics. With Venom and Sony and the rights between Marvel going back and forth, that Sony are trying to do their own thing and rather successfully did it with Venom, which I wasn't mad on, but Jesus, the box office is insane. And
900 million.
yeah, and Andy Serkis is doing the sequel now already, so that's making gangbusters
That's out later
money.
this year, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
God.
But in this, Leto, who we know last...
My God.
What?
Later.
Yeah.
This year. No.
Good God.
Don't believe it.
You're having a laugh.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Get out of town.
Well, Justine gets herself together.
Yeah. So, Jared Leto, we know, kind of had a failed run as Joker in Suicide Squad, and he
sure
put
did.
replaced him. Yeah, we must be real jealous
He
looking at
needs to
Mr.
know.
Phoenix doing all that
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah.
But he's Michael Morbius in this, and with a name like that, you're not going to be.
It's the Morbius boys from
Exactly,
Off.
yeah.
You know them. Yeah.
Morbius boys. What you gonna do?
A doctor, as you
my
know,
God.
with a rare skin disease.
I wasn't a part of that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, he's a doctor with a
Rare blood disorder, and he basically wants to get himself healthier. So he decides to inject himself with vampire bats, I guess. But there's a
It's
sequence
not
here
clear.
when I don't know what's going on.
Why don't we look at it and then,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah.
try and
Let's
break
first
it down
thing, yeah.
Try
afterwards?
and
Yeah.
figure Morbius out, basically. Whew, here goes.
I have a rare blood disease, and I'm running out of time. This could be my last chance.
You're up to something. What is it?
It's not exactly legal.
I don't want to see you get hurt more than you already have.
This would be a cure.
At what cost? Michael, what's happening?
I went from dying to feeling more alive than ever. Increased strength and speed. The ability to use echolocation. And an overpowering urge to consume blood. How far are we allowed to go? To fix something that's broken.
Question.
Yeah.
Just the one, is it? Just
What the hell did we just watch?
Yeah.
He puts his hand up to a jungle, and the bats are like, but only one bat.
Because he cuts
Yeah.
his hand.
Yeah, but only one, because every other bat attacks everyone else around him, and he's like, jungle hands. But at the start of the trailer, is he winning a Nobel Prize in science?
Why not?
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
So what's the crack? It is
It is in
attached
the
to
Spider-Man
Venom.
universe. Yeah, there
Look.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
There's the hand.
He puts his hand down. Here comes the bats,
And-
they all attack the other people, but just one is standing and sucking on his hand.
Not ripped off from Batman Begins as well. That's it.
He's literally a Batman.
Yeah.
Singular.
So
Which gives him cool powers, it looks like. But casting this actually is really, really good. Like, not to give too much away, because like they did show it at the end. Like we've got Michael Keaton, who is Vulture
pops
from
up, yeah, of
Spider-Man:
course.
Homecoming. So that's the shared universe
And
they're
the
trying to go for.
connection,
Yeah, I just think.
It's just concerning.
Yeah.
You know?
But we were concerned about Bad Boys, and look how that turned out.
This
You
is
know?
true.
Yeah, but
This is
Jared
true.
Leto, I don't think should just
But
be.
he's all into that weird stuff anyway. It's perfect casting. Like, you know, like he's out
Plus
there.
he got buff, and there's already
Yeah.
like Hot Morbius is trending. So
Yeah, and you forget he's
Are
an
you
Oscar winner.
serious?
I'm always serious.
You forget
And
he's an
that's-
Oscar
Oh
winner.
my
like.
God.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Morbius is coming to cinemas when?
31st July, but like Jared Harris, Matt Smith's, J.K. Simmons is rumoured to be in it.
What?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Smith like pops up for like a split second. I think,
So, like,
who the
he's
heck
good
are you?
guys. Isn't it?
The last thing I seen him in was Terminator Genesis. Remember?
Yes.
He's like an omen.
fantastic. Is that guy Sinise as well?
No.
Nah.
And is it Daniel Espinosa
Yes.
who did Life
I think so.
Let's go
with
with that.
Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal in Space?
Sexy
And
Spider-Man.
then Safe
yes.
House
Yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds and Denzel Washington.
And Brendan Gleeson as well. Right, so anyway, Morbius out later on this year. We haven't got a clue what's
we
going
have to
on.
find out how. I'm going to go just to see how he turns into that bat thing.
Oh, 100%. Okay, well,
Look, he gets bullied. That's how you know.
that's, listen, like any good origin
With a
story.
name like Michael Morbius, he's going to be grand.
Definitely.
More like
Look, watch.
Snorbius.
Nobel Prize. He
Nobel
won
Prize.
it.
Oh, it is a Nobel Prize, yeah. So
He's a genius.
that is our big
God.
trailer of the week. We're still trying to figure out exactly what's going on there. Anyway, now it's time for the big interview on the Big Reviewski. We've got two very special guests this week. And actually, I forgot to say at the start of the show, we've got a brilliant prize coming up later on that we want to give away to people. It's a limited edition Star Wars set of coins, like kind of like limited edition
I call it.
saga coins.
I want it.
Yes, you want it. No, you can't have it. So they're these kind of collector's items for Star Wars fans, and as well as that, we also have a €50 voucher to give away to the D350 area in the Disney store on Grafton Street in Dublin. Basically, it's an entire area within the store that is dedicated to Star Wars and Marvel memorabilia as well. So
I want that too.
heaven, basically. Yeah, you've claimed both of the prizes. So the prizes have gone. Paul Moore is taking both of them.
Sucks.
So we will be letting you know how to win those prizes coming up later on the show. But before that, we were chatting to these guys around Christmas time, and we think there's enough time has kind of elapsed since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker to kind of chat a wee bit about the film, but also listen to J.J. Abrams, the director, and one of the stars of the movie, Oscar Isaac, who of course plays Poe Dameron. Handsome devil of a man. So yeah, the film was released before Christmas. It had mixed reviews, to say the least. I really liked a lot of it. As we said before, it's messy. The story, the plotting, there's like huge plot holes in it. But there are also some, well, in my opinion, some brilliant moments in it as well. I did promise I was going to go and say it 13 times.
You did.
Up to about number 7 now. So getting there. Around 50%, roughly. But before we hear from Mr. J.J. Abrams talking about the love of his life, Ireland.
Oh.
And its very special connection with the Star Wars galaxy. Here's a little.
Oh dear.
Here's a look, a little. It's happening. I
Can
think
you
I'm
just
dying.
tap the back of his head?
Yeah. Here's a thing. Here's a
It's like
little.
C-3PO.
At Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Thanks for that. Lickle.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Well, first of all, as an honorary Irishman, the U.S.-Ireland alliance made me an honorary. So I feel that I can say this.
That's official.
It is official. And being married to Kathleen Ann McGrath, I will say this. Ireland was a critical part of Episode 7, Force Awakens. We obviously returned to that location in this film. The story, it was that I was looking for a place that was mystical, spiritual, magical, and just natural and drop dead gorgeous. And we looked at tons of images and locations. When I saw Skellig Michael, it just felt like, are you kidding me? This is real? This exists? And then the fact that they let us shoot there, thank you, Ireland, it was the most amazing thing. We were out there for 3 days. Miraculously, those 3 days we were there on Force Awakens, it didn't rain until the very, very end, and we got there and there were, 80 million puffins. And then the next day, 0 puffins. The puffins said we're leaving, and they all just went away. It was the strangest thing. So we were there shooting. No one could believe how gorgeous it was, or that they let us film there. And it's just one of the wonders of the world, and we were honored to be there. So that location, including the people who were so generous. We're just indebted.
J.J. Abrams got a bit of a rough ride from Star Wars fans after the release of the movie, but obviously, really nice guy. Like, as he said, he's an honorary Irishman, so I'm a fan of his anyway, but as people often say, he doesn't quite know how to stick the landing sometimes, whether it's Lost, some of his other movies, this, for example. What do you think?
About J.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
I think he is a very good visualist, but I don't think he should write anything.
Ever.
Yeah. I think he puts together some amazing set pieces and like some very striking imagery. But anytime he's left alone with the story, you're like, what? So the plot was like simultaneously not enough and way too much.
Yeah, the more you kind of think, you're like, but how did they get, and what does that mean over there?
But I had a big problem with, like, it took about 40 minutes for the film start. We needed MacGuffin to get MacGuffin. And it was like, so we needed to get the GPS, then the Sith blade, then we needed to read the Sith blade, then we needed to, it just took an awful lot of time, because we need to get the exegol. As I said, it's a Star Wars film that people will like if they don't have any strong feelings to the first Star Wars trilogy. I think it's grand. You can tell it's like a film by committee. It's like we need this, and we need to hit our beats. But like even I had more of a giddy thrill leaving Revenge of the Sith, which a lot of people didn't like. But I thought even that ending was far more poetic and tied back to.
Poetic.
Nice.
I like it. But like in terms of Abrams' other stuff, I'll still watch it because he's an incredibly cinematic director. Like MI3 I loved, and Super 8 I still have a bit of time for. Like he's clearly an 80s child, which you mentioned, the Goonies reference even pops
of course,
up in the film in your full interview. So I'll always go see him, but I do think there is a storytelling issue there as well.
Well, one thing we can all agree on is Oscar Isaac is a bit righty.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And we have proof of that. That sounds dodgy. It's fine. It was just the interview. Like we did with him. We have video footage.
If this is
of
your...
It's a bit shaky.
The pursuit of happiness.
But no. So one of the obviously again connections that Oscar Isaac has with Ireland in a special way is he's worked with Donald Gleeson like 1 million times already in their careers. They were both in Ex Machina. They were both in. There was
the other Star Wars.
The other Star Wars movies, that's it, and then obviously the Star Wars movie as well. So basically chatting about.
And I'd probably hang around with Alex Garland because they're both Annihilation and stuff like
exactly.
That.
So this is more about just his thoughts on working with Donald and would they work together again, that kind of stuff. Because as we said before, the Gleesons, all of them, and Donald Gleeson as well, they are a national treasure of ours. So this is Oscar chatting about that stuff there. So it is. Donald Gleeson is one of our national treasures.
I mean, how could he not be?
I know.
He's my personal national treasure.
So this is the thing. Obviously, you two, well, I presume, are pals now, having worked together numerous times. Have you any kind of favourite memories or moments from working with him over the years? Or has he invited you over to visit?
He's never invited me over to visit. I've invited him several times.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have enjoyed working with Donald so much, and I was really happy that we at least got a little bit of an interaction in this movie. Hopefully on the next one we'll have more to do.
Do you think you might kind of team up again potentially in the future?
For sure. For sure.
And last but not least, one of the world's biggest dilemmas is, of course, like everyone is in love with Baby Yoda, regardless of whether you've seen The Mandalorian or not.
Well, none of us have.
None of us, as
clearly.
we've said before, because we're well behaved. But Baby Yoda has kind of taken over the internet, essentially. But with the release of The Rise of Skywalker, he's got a rival, essentially, in Babu Frick, who's a little, I don't know what, he's like a little droid repair guy,
So I'm
alien.
thinking about this. Could you do baby Babu Frick? Because I presume he's an adult alien.
Yeah.
How small would he get?
Oh,
Someone did.
Baby Jabba.
Yeah.
Oh, Baby Jabba, I saw
Yeah.
that as well. Baby Baba the Hutt. Is that right?
Wow, yeah, I'll take it.
But who would you go for? Would you go for Babu Frick or would you go for Baby Yoda?
I would go for Oscar Isaac.
Every time.
Every
Okay, so
time.
Oscar's gone. Paul, who would you go
I have to keep. It has to be Yoda.
for? Okay.
I'm gonna go for Babu Frick because I like the underdog, and he's getting all the attention already. And you're like, go on. She.
Oh, Bob Frick's a wee girl, aye.
That's
right.
you only did Morning Myrtle.
No, but Yoda.
Jordan Anderson.
He's getting all the attention.
He's getting all the attention. Yeah.
So you have to decide and vote. Give it to Oscar Isaac. That's what you do.
No, I'm going to leave Rory and Oscar to be very happy together. No, I'm going to go Baby Yoda. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, here's Oscar Isaac answering that very dilemma. Final question, it's a big dilemma. Who's cuter, Baby Yoda or Babu Frick?
I'd go with Babu Frick. Yeah.
Slightly biased, though.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
You're over the Baby Yoda thing. It's like, it's great.
But yeah, Shirley Anderson, she does the voice of, I mean, come on. It's so funny. So funny.
Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is still in Omniplex cinemas, so you can go and check it out. I just said I still need to go another 6 times to make my full quota of 13 times seeing the Star Wars movie. So, better hurry up and get this done then. It's time for the big reviews on the Big Reviewski. Up first, it's Armando Iannucci's brand new film, The Personal History of David Copperfield, Not the Magician.
Not the Magician.
Not the Magician.
No. This is the classic book by Stephen King.
About magic.
No, it's the it's an iconic British book that Armando has given a very modern cultural spin on without actually changing the plot or the setting all that much. The cast is insane. Dev Patel, Peter Capaldi, Ben Whishaw, Gwendolyn Christie, Hugh Laurie, Tilda Swinton and Benedict Wong are just like the headliners. Yeah. Armando, if you don't know, is like The Thick of It and Veep and
Death of Stalin, yeah.
Death of Stalin and
Alan Partridge back in the day.
Yeah.
As well.
Avenue 5, the new one coming out.
The new one, yeah. So it's a comedy of manners about a rags to riches to rags, and we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, here is a clip, and then we will talk at length. Well, we'll talk a little bit.
We'll keep it snappy.
We'll keep it as long as the title of the film.
Okay, let's do it.
Dang long.
Are you David Copperfield?
I am indeed.
It is the true story of the life I was about to lead.
Your mama is ill.
How is she?
Very ill.
Dangerously ill.
She's dead.
We're very sorry. I can easily recall people of strong character.
Good morning.
Is it too early for sherry?
A little early.
And weave their memory
Come in. Form a queue.
into my life's journey.
We're ruined.
Like a castle. Bailiffs.
How can we be ruined?
Like a big castle.
We could keep him as a little pet. It was a joke, I'm sorry. I've been attempting to learn gentleman's humour from a book.
This calls for a celebration.
Hooray!
This is a remarkable day.
Did you hear that?
I'm a huge maniac!
What an adventure we have had.
On your head!
What are you doing?
Medicine. Reviving you.
This is salad dressing.
Is it?
Thank you.
Sorry, what was your name?
Copperfield.
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 This is Crotwood Trosserfield.
David Copperfield.
That's that now.
I enjoyed that.
Did you like that trailer?
Yeah, I mean, huge fan of Armando Iannucci.
Yeah.
Like, just everything he does is genuinely hilarious. And given all of these brilliant actors an opportunity to do this kind of stuff, like even from the trailer, like Dev Patel, again, is... it's great to see him as the lead, especially with so many other talented actors around him as well. But because I think the last one,
He's great in Lion. I think that was the
Lion.
last thing I saw
Yeah,
him in,
exactly. But then even Ben Whishaw and stuff, it just looks the part. It looks very funny, but
it is very funny.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, like they said, they didn't really change too much about it, and there's so many very interestingly phrased one-liners. That I find it impossible to believe that people found it as funny 150 years ago or whatever as they would today, because there's just so many potential new contexts to every conversation. It's great to see Tilda Swinton especially, because normally I wouldn't associate her with being particularly funny. Terrifying, sure. Funny,
Yes.
not so much. But she's really funny in this. Hugh Laurie's great as well. And Peter Capaldi, who is like an old cohort of Armando's, because they did all of The Thick of It and In the Veep together as well. and it's good to see them tackle something different. I wasn't a massive fan of the death of Stalin. I thought it was okay.
Moments. Yeah. I think it tried to cram an awful lot and give everyone their moment, and it was a massive cast, and it just sort of lost track of, here's someone famous and here's someone famous, and it's like, well, what's the plot?
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that.
It was a bit off the cuff, I found.
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that funny, whereas this was very, very funny, and it does get you invested with everyone, and it does the period of the time really, really well. So it was one of going in, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this, because it seems real stately almost, but because it is Iannucci, then he does give it that twist that it needs to still be entertaining.
Brilliant. Glad to hear it. Happy days. So the personal history of David Copperfield out in cinemas right now, this minute.
Yeah. This weekend.
This weekend, depending on where you're watching it.
Omniplex cinemas.
Omniplex.
That's where they're watching.
So our second big review of the show this week is The Turning, which I'm going to be perfectly honest about. I do not know anything about this movie.
Well, I'm not going to step on Paul's toes, but have you heard of the classic, is it Edgar Allan Poe?
The Turning of the Screw by Henry James.
Right, okay. No.
You will have heard of this in a roundabout way, because one of the biggest shows in the last few years is roundaboutly based on this, and an upcoming show is based on the book as well.
Oh, okay. What's the
So it's based Turning of the Screw, modern. It's a reimagining of it, which is a governess played by Mackenzie Davis we last saw in Terminator. Has to go and take care of two kids in a decrepit mansion who are orphaned after their parents died in mysterious circumstances. However, there's an ominous presence around these two kids, and that evil is attracted to them, and you don't know why.
Kids, do you know what I mean, man? Absolute nightmare.
I hate them.
Oh, gee. That was so real.
So,
I was joking.
This is why.
Yeah.
Now we know why.
There you go. Basically, I knew the trade. As soon as 5 minutes into this film, I thought this is the Haunting Hill House, and that's not coincidental, because The Turning of the Screw is the next season of The Haunting Hill House. So basically, it's very, very like it. So if you like the jumps in The Haunting Hill House, there's an awful lot for you. In terms of ticking the boxes, it does it really well. Finn Wolfhard, who we know from Stranger Things, is very good. He plays the boy Miles, who is a bit of a brat, to be honest, and like creepy.
In the trailer.
Yeah.
We got the trailer, we haven't seen it yet.
No, we're about to.
I hate him in the trailer.
Yeah, he's quite
Because
good.
he's a kid.
He's
We
a
get it,
kid.
Roy.
No,
We get it.
Like, I
You don't need to
dislike
bang
kids in
on
general, but
about
him
it.
specifically in that trailer was like, he's a little shit.
Let's have a look at it again. Get
Yeah,
Rory
let's
angry.
have a look. You're right.
Back and be raging.
Little shit. Here we go.
The children are very special, Kate. They're thoroughbreds.
Geez, your friends must love it here.
I have no friends.
You have no friends?
Yep.
Well, you have one now.
Maybe.
May I ask how your parents died?
Well,
Miles?
Nothing should have to suffer. It's not that simple.
I don't go in that part of the house.
Why not?
Don't want to.
Hello?
Shouldn't be in here.
You okay, Rory? Is that too many? Darling. Okay. Okie dokie. I keep mixing up Mackenzie Davis with Mackenzie Crook from The Office. UK.
Gareth,
yeah. So
Oh.
every time I see her name, I'm like, what's he playing? He's playing a governess in this now. But obviously it's not him.
Governess basically just a fancy private teacher. But yeah, that's what the book's
Oh.
from. Yeah. Private tutor. She's very good in it. Like one of those really good kind of female leads in horror, which just the genre seems to just bring out. And she has to be good because she's on camera a lot of time. Two kids are also great in it, which are Brooklyn Prince and Finn Wolfhard. Problem with this, I found, is that it does tick all the boxes. You've got the ominous drawing of the kids. You've got the creepy jumps. You've got the really good ghost scares. And then it gets to the ending. And I get the feeling, I'm not going to say anything, that they didn't know what to do, which is weird because it's based on a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the feeling that, like, they had a twist coming, which isn't like massive. You can kind of see it coming, and particularly if you watch The Haunting of Hill House, you know it's coming. Yeah, but then I just feel like, did they just like screen this to a test audience, not like, and then go back and just shoot any old shit?
Oh.
Yeah, and then it just seemed so. After seeing it, it felt so rushed and jagged that it almost undermined what came before. And I really enjoyed the jumps and scares. It's really well executed. Mackenzie Davis, well acted. The kids, Finn Wolfhard, is genuinely worthy of already hating him. And then just the last 10 minutes, I was like, what? Like,
what the hell's going on?
They were just rushed it so badly. I was just like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, this would have been 4, 3.5. It's like, oh, dude. Like, and then it made me go back and rethink everything.
Yeah. Did J.J. Abrams direct it? So good for a lot, and then just the ending again. But so good for a lot of it.
There's an awful lot to like, particularly if you love that haunted house aesthetic. The others vibe going for it. Like, it is good and it's immersive.
Filmed here?
Yeah, I think it was.
Filmed in Ireland.
Oh, filmed in Ireland as well. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And Mackenzie, it's the first thing I've really seen Mackenzie Davis like lead, and she's good. Not Mackenzie Crook.
Not Mackenzie Crook. I didn't realise there was an Irish connection there as well. So go out and
but if you
support
like,
that, definitely.
If you like horror, yeah, there's an awful lot. But it's just like this could have been one of the really good ones, and I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. So
just tell people to leave 10 minutes before.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the turning out in Omniplex cinemas this week. So if you're in the mood for a scare, you're sorted. Go and see that. And actually, our other final review is The Grudge. So all about the horror this week. So before we hear Rory's review of it, here's a little sneak peek at The Grudge.
This is Detective Muldoon.
This is Peter Spencer. Something happened to me at 44 Rayburn Drive.
Someone was murdered at that house.
Why did you never go into that place?
Something never felt right about it.
Looks like we got another one.
Do you think that the body we found's related? Hello? I went to the house. Hello? Police department.
So we had the Grudge trailer as our big trailer a while back. And we were trying to figure out, it's part of the Grudge universe because there's a whole bunch of them. Where this one actually
there's American
fits
ones
in.
and there's
Japanese ones as well.
On the Grudge, yeah.
So where are we with this one then?
This is a sort of sequel to the American ones.
Okay.
Like there's a single scene at the very start of this movie.
We're connected.
That is about 5 seconds long. And it's like oh, and then it moves on. You're like, what? And so it's connected to the American ones, kind of. Cast and like again, and Andrea Riseborough,
super actor,
John Cho, Damien Bashir, Lynn Shay from Insidious, the older lady, Jackie Weaver, who I think won an Oscar recently enough.
She always plays like an angry mammy and stuff.
Yeah,
wasn't a fighter. Animal Kingdom.
Yes, and Frankie Faison, who was in Coming to America.
Oh yes.
Is he related to
Donald Faison?
He might be. So it's Andrea Riseborough is a police officer who's investigating a number of grisly murders that are all connected to the same address. And the movie takes place in her current timeline, as well as 2 previous timelines where other people are going through the motions that eventually we know they're dead. She's investigating their murder. But the film is like, what if they don't make it? It's like, they're dead. We've seen they're dead earlier.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm gonna.
Here we go.
So there's a scene, right, where Detective Andrea Riseborough is in the police station and she finds tapes of a previous detective who's taking notes on the haunted house. Right.
Okay.
So she got a tape recorder and she puts her headphones on and she's listening and it flashes back to him recording it.
Okay. Nice.
So he's there and he's like, I'm in the haunted house, you guys, and it's super haunted. And I can't
believe how haunted this place is.
This is, you guys, you've no idea. And then his friend is like, hey, we have to go for lunch or whatever, and he's like, all right, so he stops recording and he goes for lunch with his friend, and then they're having lunch, and then they go to drive somewhere, and then this ghost appears from nowhere from literally nowhere. Like
this is the same film, right?
And
in the cafe where they're having lunch.
Yeah, and the ghost like slams a hand against the window where he's having his lunch. It's like, bah! Like it's a jump scare, and he's like, and the other guy can't see the ghost because he wasn't in the house.
Ah, right, okay.
It cuts back to Andrea Riseborough jumping to the sound of the ghost. He stopped recording hours ago. How can he hear? What has happened?
Maybe it's a supernatural kind of recording. Maybe because the recorder was in the house as well, that it's affected by the ghost.
Maybe it's a big croc on. Maybe that's it.
That works good, yeah.
Don't try to defend this.
All right, so that's one problem taken care of.
Just a
What
little
next?
plot.
It treats you like such an idiot. Like at the very start, there's a dead body that they discover, and they're like, the dead body's in a car, and you're like, she's dead. She's like, yeah, got it. And then 20 minutes later, you see her die, and just in case you're a complete, absolute moron, it flashes back to when they found the body.
Oh,
like,
no.
Here's the dead body that was in that
It's
car.
been from a few minutes ago.
It has no head.
Yeah.
It didn't grow back.
Yeah.
It's and the one thing I say about horror movies over and over again is that it has to have rules.
Yes.
Because if you don't know the rules, you don't know what's scary. You can't break them. And the rules of this are just all over the gaff. There's just the premise of the Grudge originally was that if you get killed violently, then you become a ghost in the house that you were killed in.
You can't move past the house, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So all
Okay.
the setup for the previous ones is that people kept getting drawn to the house and killed in that house. But in this, it's like it's spread out, so people are being killed all over the place, which would then make those houses cursed.
Grudge houses as well.
But people are dying in a bus. They're dying on a hospital. People are dying in back roads. Like, and it's just like, no, that doesn't apply here.
So you loved it.
Well, as Paul mentioned, there's a thing. Critics have Rotten Tomatoes, and audiences have a thing called Cinema Score. I think it might just be American.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
It is, yeah.
And in the entire history of Cinema Score since the 1960s or 70s, when they were doing it in the cinema, all the way up to like now doing it on the internet, there's only ever been 20 films that have gotten an F. And The Grudge.
For fantastic.
The Grudge has gotten an F.
I see.
Wow.
Right.
There are some peculiar ones on F, which are actually okay.
Yeah,
like,
I did do a little breakdown of something like Mother got an F.
Right, okay.
And I really liked Mother, but this is not Mother. This is
The Grudge.
Showgirls didn't get an F.
I'm not surprised.
Could you watch this as a comedy though?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's something so bad you're like, that's hilarious.
So we're not
now.
going to say
No, because it's still annoyingly like
I tried.
It's still annoyingly jump scary,
Okay.
but it's
But
the
without
it's the
making-
equivalent of just being in the kitchen on your own and like a pot falling off. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
like it's not that it's scary. It's
that.
just there's a sudden loud noise.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
That's not scary.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. It's a pity, as you said, with a good premise, with a brilliant cast, and then it just obviously just doesn't come together. But I think, so maybe out of the two horrors, maybe The Turning's the one to go for,
Yeah, but
potentially.
leave 10
Do
minutes
not
for
go
the
to the
ending.
Grudge.
Oh, okay.
That's not an option.
All right, I've taken Oscar Isaac off the table, and I've taken The Grudge off the
Two
table
very
as
different
well.
reasons, but
Okay, yes. Okay, well, The Grudge is out in cinemas this week, along with The Turning and along with The Personal History of David Copperfield as well. So enjoy. And go and see Bad Boys for Life,
Yeah.
which is also out as well.
With Oscar Isaac.
Yes. Now it's time for our giveaway on the Big Reviewski. We do have a brand new high clue for you. But first of all, let's take a look at last week's high clue. This is the win some Omniplex tickets as well. Now,
This is quite a
Justine,
moment.
off
one
back.
for 100% record in 2020.
Yeah.
Justine, we put up the high clue and you absolutely knocked it out of the park and nailed it. Have you been thinking about that moment all week?
It's been there in my mind, yeah. It has. It's been good. It's been a good week, and I'm hoping to keep this track record going.
Yeah,
but
Good
I
luck to
guess
you.
we're about to
I
find
think
out.
you should just retire. 100% retire the champion. That's it. Leave.
So last week's high clue was Dallas's Sires Club. Jumps and steps are out of sight. Lucky dance partners. So the first line was Dallas's, as in Dallas, D-A-L-L-A-S apostrophe. Dallas's Sires, S-I-R-E-S Club. Middle line, jumps and steps are out of sight. Last line was Lucky Dance Partners. And Justine, you guessed it, you wrote it down, and the answer was...
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. Well, do you want to do the breakdown? What was your aim? What was your hook?
What really got me was Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
From the get-go, from Dallas Buyers Club. And then just saw steps and dance. I was like, sure, look.
Yeah, sure, listen.
We're there with it. But I'm sure you have so many other layers that I just
there's a couple other wee bits and pieces in there, but you're right. Like, yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Wow.
That's just the way it happens. Matthew McConaughey.
You Matthew McConaughey and you do Christopher Walken. What?
Yeah.
Like,
so the first line is a reference to him. So instead of Dallas Buyers Club, it was Dallas Sires Club. He plays a character called Dallas in it, and he owns the club. Exquisite, I think it's called, with the Sires, with all the guys. He's the owner of it, where they all work. Jumps and steps are out of sight was a reference to both the director, Steven Soderbergh, and Channing Tatum, the star of the movie. Out of sight because Steven Soderbergh directed that as well. Jumps and steps, two of Channing Tatum's most famous kind of series of films he's done. 21 and 22 Jump Street. And also step up to the
step up to the streets.
Step up to the streets. Yeah. So and because his moves, his jumps and his steps are amazing in the movie as well.
Just listen.
They're out of sight. And then the last line, Lucky Dance Partners, was also a reference to those two guys, Steven Soderbergh and Channing Tatum again, because they both worked on Logan Lucky together. And so they were partners in that, and then obviously the dance element there as well. So Magic Mike was the answer. Happy days. So I want to say congratulations to a young man, Mr. D. Scanlon, who has won some Omniplex tickets. Do you remember last week we had a good answer? We had, the winner was Not My Problem, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And we're going to get that as a 2020 manager. Actually, on his profile as well, Mr. Scanlon has another manager. This one is study, run, eat, sleep. Which
it really picked up towards the end there,
didn't it? Like 2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah.
I'm still preferring last week's one with study and eating and sleeping. I'll take it 100%. So we'll get those tickets out to you. But now it's time for this week's Highclere. As we said, we do have that amazing Star Wars giveaway to give
to me
away. To somebody else who isn't Palmer. It'll be up on Joe as well, all the details. But if you get the correct answer to this week's cycle, you will be in a chance of winning a €50 voucher to the D350 zone in the Disney store on Grafton Street in Dublin, as well as this limited edition. We actually have a few of those sets of the Star Wars saga coin sets as well. So, as we said, must have for any Star Wars fan except for Paul. So this week's cycle, pens at the ready. You don't need to write it down. It's fine.
It's on the telly.
It's on the TV.
Magic Mike 2.
That's the one.
XXL.
So this week it's banks on banks in bank, substitute aviator, Uncle Ben's Lane's dad. So that high clue again is banks on banks in bank, substitute aviator, Uncle Ben's Lane's dad. So just to break down for everybody who's listening, banks, the first one, obviously B-A-N-K-S with a capital B. On banks, exactly the same word, B-A-N-K-S with a capital B. In bank, that one is a lowercase b. The middle line, substitute aviator. And the final line, Uncle Ben's, Ben apostrophe S, Lane's dad. And that's Lane with a capital L and apostrophe S. There's a lot of apostrophes going on there. But we got through it. So, what are you thinking, Justine?
There's two things I'm won over. I haven't a full idea together yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
100% record now. We don't
I don't want to jinx it.
We don't want to jinx it.
No.
Looks like Roy's narrowing his eyes. He's definitely.
Have a thought.
Have a thought, okay.
I've written
Dangerous.
it down.
Lie down. What have we got? Well, would you look at that?
You get it?
Rory Cashin has got the correct answer.
Oh, good.
For this week's High Clue. Yeah, happy enough? Yeah.
Magic Mike too.
Yeah, spot on, exactly.
It's bothering me now.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna.
Sorry,
no.
this isn't
Sure,
going
I'll
to
be
be a
able
good
to sleep
one.
now.
This one, no, sorry about
Next
that.
episode.
It was so good for a while. Right, well, listen, that pretty much wraps us up for this week. Coming up on next week's show, can't wait to see this film. Queen and Slim, brand new movie starring Daniel Kaluuya, who people know from Get Out. Did a brilliant episode of Black Mirror as well. He's also in the Black Panther movies.
Widows?
Pardon?
Widows?
Windows, yeah, I thought you Windows is like he's also in Windows, like just
We'll
hanging
have to-
around
we'll have to
people's
watch.
houses. And who's the girl's like
Cody.
newcomer in this?
She's brand new, Jodie Turner-Smith, yeah. It's directed by Melina Matsakauskas. It's her feature debut, I think. She directed the Formation video for Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
And loads of other amazing music videos, but that's, I think, the one she's most famous for.
Brilliant stuff. So, full review of that coming up on next week's show as well. Just remains to say thank you to everybody involved. Paul on sound, Fiona on visuals out the back, Ian for the set as well. Justine, thank you.
Thank you, Owen.
You're welcome. Paul, thank you.
Danke.
Bitte. Rory, thank you.
You're welcome.
Signing off. You're welcome. Thanks.
So weird, we've been nice to each other.
Thanks to all
Weird.
the viewers and the listeners and everything as well. Don't forget to subscribe, get in touch as well. And thanks to our sponsors, Omniplex Cinemas with my OmniPass. And we will see you
In about a week.
in about a week, roughly a week. Okay.
Give or take.
Chapter.